Any health-related information on the following show provides general information only. Content presented on any show by any host or guest should not be substituted for a doctor's advice. Always consult your physician before beginning any new diet, exercise, or treatment program.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Inspired and Empowered Living TV show and podcast. We are live Tuesday mornings at 11 a.m. Eastern on talk4tv.com, w4wn.com, my YouTube channel. And today we will be talking about Serenity Now, strategies for staying peaceful in these uncertain times. In a world full of uncertainty and constant change, finding peace can feel like an impossible task. So today, we are going to explore practical techniques and transformative mindsets to help you stay calm and centered no matter what life throws your way. Tune in and discover how to cultivate serenity and strength even in the most challenging times so that you can live an inspired and empowered life. Together, let's create a life you love. I'm your host, Nanci Deutsch, licensed clinical social worker, certified hypnotherapist, and intuitive breakthrough expert. And I combine my counseling, coaching, and intuitive work to transform your life. This show is not a replacement for therapy or counseling. It is for educational purposes only. So this really is all about you creating that mindset and doing what you need to do in order for you to be able to stay peaceful no matter what. And I see that we have Allie in the house. Good morning, Allie. Welcome. And before we jump into more of today's show, I just want to answer some questions and share some comments from last week's show. So last week we were talking about the money mindset, specifically about the money mindset and working on clearing emotions and limiting beliefs. And so we had Anastasia saying, believing is a powerful thing, and it sure is. Because also what we're going to be talking about today, and every time that we meet, it's all about what you believe. Because what you believe is what you will create in your outside environment and your outside world. Now, the saying goes, I'll believe it when I see it. But the truth is, when you believe it, that's when you'll see it. So know believing is a crucial piece in whatever you want to manifest, whether it's finances or health or peace and serenity and a calm mind. The more you believe and the more you take the actions, the more you will create those results. And we're going to go over more as we go through the show today. So then last week we had Country Corners Gazette. And I hope everybody's here from last week so that you're hearing your questions and comments. Can stuck emotions actually hurt a person? And what I'm going to say is yes. Okay. So there is such a deep connection between your body, your mind, your emotions, and that you can't separate out one from the other. That's the whole idea of the holistic approach, which I totally believe. Body, mind, emotions, and spirit. And when you have that mindset, and when you have emotions that will clog your energy field, it can create physical issues. It can create emotional issues, of course. And it can create every, like, mental, emotional. And we got Misty in the house. Hi, Misty. Glad you're here. So definitely want to support you in all remembering that that's why it's so important to do your work in clearing your limiting beliefs and emotions to be able to go into the places of peace. And that's another reason why I wanted to do this show, so that you can have and remind yourself and to work on those places of peace no matter what. And believe it or not, the no matter what is actually the truth. That there's a way to stay peaceful no matter what is going on around you. And I'm going to give you a visualization. And I got this visualization, I believe it was actually my very first, many years ago. So, and I believe it actually may have come from the Dalai Lama. So I want you all to feel as I describe this scene. And I'm actually going to bring in the three minds, okay? Now, the three minds are your conscious mind, your subconscious or unconscious, and your superconscious. So your conscious mind is the part of you that deals with everyday reality. It's the part of you, and I see we have Anastasia in the house. Hey, Anastasia, welcome. Your conscious mind is the part of you that is dealing with everyday reality, and it is having to negotiate what's going on in your life. And it's seeing things. Your conscious mind, when combined with your superconscious mind, creates empowered decisions. And your superconscious mind is that higher self, this wise, unconditional, loving part of you that is there for the asking and is also your soul. And you want to get back into the place of soul consciousness, higher self consciousness, which are feelings of peace, love, joy, and gratitude. And then you have, and I say this because your subconscious mind is the part of you from the moment you were conceived to present time, has recorded every moment that you have been alive. And everything that you came in with since you were in utero and when you were born. So that also means everything in your DNA. That means ancestral patterns, those positive patterns and the negative, the challenging. That means the physical patterns, the genetics. It means the trauma. It means your resources. So all of your ancestral energy is there in your subconscious mind, and all of your past lives. So you may or may not believe in past lives. I do. And past lives are those aspects of your soul. And okay, so Country Corners Gazette, that seems like a lot of this on us. Okay, so what I want you all to know is that the most important thing here is that you're making those conscious decisions moment by moment, because your subconscious mind goes off and reacts. All right. So remember, I said I was going to give you a visualization. I haven't forgotten. So what I want you all to, if you can, if you're driving, don't focus on the road, and you can come back to this at a later time. If you're not and you're available, to visualize with me. So everybody, I want you to imagine that you're in the bottom of the ocean. And in the places of the deepest parts of the ocean, there's a lot of life. There's a lot of plant life and fish life and all kinds of life. But there's a quietness and a stillness that's very deep. And it's really so deep. There's such a quietness and a stillness. Now, that's at the very bottom of the ocean. On top of the ocean, you have the waves. And sometimes the waves are very quiet. And sometimes the waves are really stormy. Those waves are your emotions. So you can have some very quiet, and you can have some very calm. At the ocean top are both the conscious and the subconscious mind. And so when you're in that more peaceful place and you're able to calm yourself down, which we're going to talk more about today, is when you can calm yourself down, there's a quietness that happens. And the waves are more peaceful. Sometimes you can see the ocean as like the stillness of a lake. And the waves just kind of very gently hit the shore. And then compared to those stormy times when there's anger and rage happening, those are your emotions, and you have those big waves. And that is your emotions when you're in reactive mode, when you're reacting to your environment, when you're reacting to someone else or something or the world events or the uncertainty. And it is in the stillness. And that energy of stillness is actually the truth of who you are. At the bottom of the ocean, when you can feel that peace. And I want everybody to breathe with me and take a deep breath in. That's right. And feeling that energy of stillness. And being able to feel the stillness is really you tapping in to that super conscious mind, the universal consciousness, God, angels, your soul, your higher self. And it is in that place where true peace and the truth of who you are resides. And it is the place where I support you all to work on moving towards. Now, I know we have a comment from, or a question from Mickey. Okay, so Mickey asks, do you find the negative emotions flow closer to the top? So what happens is that when you're reacting, okay, so you could be reacting to a situation that's going on. I mean, if I'm thinking to myself, because I love speaking. So how many of you raise your hands if you're reacting to what's going on in the world events or the country's events, or you're reacting to your financial status, or you're reacting to your health issues, or you're reacting to your relationship issues. Any of those reactions are those waves at the top. Okay, those are the waves. Those are the waves, and that's those waves at the top is what you as a conscious person, and you're going to work on that making conscious decisions. Remember, your conscious mind empowers you to make those decisions. And so you're making the decisions as soon as you notice you're stormy, and it may not even be big stormy waves. Maybe it's little stormy waves. Maybe you're noticing that you're starting to feel annoyed or frustrated or angry and not in a rage yet, which is good because then you can more easily do something about it. Or maybe you're in a lot of fear, or maybe you're in a little fear. As soon as you notice that there's some kind of waves happening, and you can use this visual, like that you could start using this visual more and more. As soon as you notice that, then you can say, okay, what do I need to do to start calming myself down? And so the stormy waves, the negative emotions, are the emotions to the top. They are the top. And they are the more important and most frustrating. Look, I'm not going to tell you that it's going to be really simple and easy. It depends on how deep the emotions are. If you're processing something deep, it may take time for you. Okay, I see, and I will get there. I see Charles's question. So, okay. So know that it's going to take practice, and it's going to take willpower on your part to be consciously saying and choosing to do something about those stormy waves, or it could be big storms or little ones or whatever going on, because fear can create the waves, grief can create the waves. Anything that's not in the peace energy is where you want to start working towards calming and bringing yourself back into presence, bringing yourself back into those calmer, more peaceful emotions. So, okay, let's get to Charles's question. Does anyone actually get to the deep inside real parts? Okay, so I want you to know that when you meditate and when you're in that place of this, there's like, you can be meditating. Sometimes you can have a healing, and you go to a place called the still point, or when you're meditating and you go to that deep place, even if it's for a moment, you have connected with that deep, deep part. So does anyone get there? Yes. That is the whole purpose of doing those deeper inner work, like meditating or like just doing healing work on yourself or going to healers to get healing work done so that you can learn to start moving into that deep, still place more and more. And I will tell you that deep, still place is the place of universal consciousness. It is the place of what I call, it's even beyond your soul. So you have your higher self, you have your soul, and you have your I am presence, your God or goddess self. And that is the place of that universal consciousness that resides within you. And every single one of you have it within you. And I am here to share that with you. And I really want you to know that it is possible to get there and to be able to go there and work on staying in longer and longer periods of there. And I want you also to know that, listen, I know what it's like. I know what it's like to have a hard time being peaceful. I know what it's like to be in your head. Believe me, I can be da, 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 da. All right. How many of you have the thinking mind? You're like think. You're in the thinking mind, or you may be in the feeling, like you're in the reaction. If you're in thinking mode, that's also the top. That's also thinking mode is also the top of the ocean too. So you can have, those waves at the top. That's thinking mode also. Okay. So begin to start asking for help in going to the deeper parts of you. When I do hypnosis with people and I help them connect more deeply to their higher self or their soul or their source self, then they're able to go into those deeper places of peace. And it is in the depths of peace that no matter what happens in your outer environment, no matter what is going on, that's where peace and serenity live. And that is what you and I believe all humans are working towards. Now, did I say it was easy? No. It doesn't mean it's an easy task, but it is a doable task. Even if you have moments of the peace, you're starting to be on your way. Now, I use some examples like meditation. Some people can get to the peace in nature. Or you can have moments of awe or inspiration, or that energy. Any of the higher vibration emotions are the emotions of the higher levels of who you are. And that's what you're moving towards. That's what you want to go towards. And so no matter how uncertain the times are, no matter what you're going through, what I want you to know is you can do it step by step and really breath by breath, moment by moment, that you can get to those places of such peace. And even if you touch it for a moment, know that you have touched your greater self. You've touched universal consciousness, and it is your beginning. It is a beginning, and it takes practice, it takes work, and it is a journey. Okay. So what I really want you to know is this is a journey. This isn't a destination. This is a journey that takes time and energy and work. But I will share with you, it is worth it. It is worth it. Okay. So, Country Corners Gazette What if you reached it once but can't find your way back there again? So if you reached it once, know you can find your way back again. I really want you to know that you can use that point. And even though it may feel like you don't know how to get back there, you can ask your higher self, your soul, your source self, your angels, your guides, help me. Help me get back to that place where I felt it, where I know it, I sense it. And know that the fact that you've experienced it once is huge, because you have a sense or a knowing on the physical plane in this body, this incarnation of yours, of what it feels like to have that experience. So know that even if you touched it for a moment, you can go back there again. And I'm not going to tell you it's not going to take work, because here's the thing. And you know that I talked about the clouds, and you're this bright light. Okay, so I'm going to use another visual. Okay, and so you're this bright light shining. Okay, and you're the core of who you are is pure light and love. And then there's all these clouds, and the clouds are those limiting beliefs and emotions. And your work is to keep clearing the clouds or calming the waves. And you've been there before, even for a moment. And if you've never been there, or you never remember being there, because here's the thing, I will tell you, you've all been there. And it's during times of sleep that you've been there, even if you can't remember. So universe wants you to know you've all been there, but you may not have a conscious memory of being there. And so your job is going to bring in and work on creating that conscious memory of being there. So hopefully that helps. And again, keep asking the questions, really important. So before we get to the next question, I want to share with you, I have another masterclass this Thursday. And this class is called Freedom and Fulfillment, 3 Steps to Boost Your Income in Your Soul-Aligned Business. And this is for women, coaches, healers, therapists, and entrepreneurs. Sorry, men, not right now. But right now, I'm doing these masterclasses for women to help you women be able to take your work, your life, and yourself and your business to the next levels. So what we're going to be talking about is breaking free from those limiting beliefs, unleashing your potential, empowering yourself with an understanding of what's holding you back and how to clear it. Learn how to tap into your intuition more deeply so that you can empower yourself for success in your soul-aligned business and get into action to turn your dreams into reality. So learn the next steps that you can take to start sharing your gifts with this world and increase your profit and increase your income. So it's this Thursday, 7:30 p.m. Eastern. Go to inspiredandempoweredliving.com/masterclass. Again, inspiredandempoweredliving.com/masterclass. So that masterclass is there, 7:30 p.m. Eastern. And I look forward to having you join us. Okay. All right. So we'll get back to those questions. The next question is, does everyone have that self? Anastasia asked, does everyone have that self? Yes. Every single one of you is connected. Every single one of you has a higher self, whether you consciously know it or not. Every single one of you has a soul, or you would not be here on this planet. Your soul is what makes it possible for you to be in this body. And your soul is that core energy essence of who you are. So yes, every single one of you has a soul. And every single one of you is part of the universal consciousness. You're part of something greater than yourself. And it is being able to learn how to tap into that energy of greater than self. In 12-step programs, they call it higher power. And in religions, we call it God. In spiritual, it could be any of the above, or universal consciousness, or source, or I am presence. All of that it's all the same energy. And it is the energy that brings us together. It is actually the energy of oneness. And we are all connected. And I want you to know that you can learn how to tap into that greater part. And when you tap into the greater part, it is in tapping into that, even for a moment, that you learn how to move into a still point, into a space where there is peace. And I want you all to know it's all possible for you. And one of the ways and the strategies that I support you all in using is your breath. And your breath is a point, is a beginning. In every single religion and spiritual teaching, they're always talking about the breath. And it is the breath of life. Even inspiration, inspired, is all about the breath of life, inspiring you. And so I want you all to know that you are here to be inspired by that greater something than yourself. You are here to change your life and the lives of others. And even though you may say, how can I change the lives of others? I'm not a coach or a healer or a therapist. I just do this, or I'm just that. Stop putting yourself down. You're changing the lives of others by listening to the show. So congratulations. Your conscious mind brought you here for a reason. You were being called. I believe that you are being called by your soul. So congratulations for listening, for being here. And grateful. I'm grateful to you for you listening to your soul, for being here. And you, moment by moment, can make that awareness, becoming consciously aware of what's going on for you. Are you feeling those waves? Are they big waves or are they smaller waves? Whatever those waves are for you, it's learning to go into the stillness. Or the other visual I gave you is imagine. I want you all to imagine your light is shining brightly. You're at the bottom of the sea and your light is shining bright. So let's combine them. Kind of. That's my imagination. It takes a lot of imagination to imagine the clouds in the bottom of the sea. We're combining them all. I'm being silly, but I want you all to know, to be conscious, to be aware of how you're feeling in the moment, to be aware of what you're reacting to, and know that you can change. You can change the reaction and come to that place of stillness so that you can shine your light. Because that's what you are all here to do. I believe that every single human being, especially you that are listening to the show or viewing it, you are here to shine your light and share your love. Shine your light and share your love. And whether it's with one person, whether it's with your family, whether it's with your friends, whether it's with many people, you are here to make a difference. And you, as each of you, work on healing and work on becoming more consciously aware and work on coming back into those places, that point of peace, that stillness, that still point, you are making a difference. Can you imagine? I want you to imagine, I know another question came in. Can you imagine that the more and more of us that come to that place of peace, that is how we will change our world? I really believe in that we are all one consciousness, and that as each one of us changes, we are part of the change that humanity is hungry for, that wants so badly. So there's something called the 100th monkey theory. And I mentioned it before, but I really want to mention it again. And the 100th monkey theory is all about that place of one consciousness. And what happened was researchers in the Pacific Islands noticed that, all the monkeys, they were studying the monkeys on the different islands in the Pacific. And then one monkey on one island started washing his or her sweet potato in the ocean. And you know the saying, monkey see, monkey do. So then the other monkeys started following in suit, and they started washing their sweet potatoes in the ocean. And what they noticed was, and this wasn't happening before, but what they noticed was that all the monkeys on the different islands started washing their sweet potatoes. And there was no island that was connected to the others. So what they concluded, it had to be the energy of consciousness. And so what I want to support you is, it is in the energy where even for a moment, you find that stillness. You find that sense of peace. Work on breathing it in. Work on trying to expand it. But even if you reach it for a moment, and even if you've only reached it once, know you can reach it again. And as you keep working on going into that place of peace, no matter what is going on around you, you are changing your consciousness, and you're helping to change everybody's consciousness. We are in this together, one world. Okay, so I know we have another question or a comment. Country Corners Gazette. Silly is good. We are too serious most of the time. Silly helps heal. You are correct. I agree with you. We do. We need to laugh. We need to have fun. We need to be silly. And thank you. I appreciate that. You know what? I really enjoy doing this show. And I am so grateful to those of you that come live. And I'm grateful to those of you who are listening to the podcast or watching at a later time. You make a difference in my life because I know what I'm doing makes a difference in yours. And I am grateful for you. So thank you for being here. And thank you for sharing. So, yes, I will continue to be silly and share my silliness. When it comes forth, it's there for you. So, and silly is also a high vibration feeling so that you want to be silly and have fun. We need that. So, and what we'll do is we will continue this because there's more I want to share with you. We'll continue this next week for part 2. And any questions that come in now, as we're starting to end the show, I'll start with next week's show. And I really want to thank you again for being here. You can come to the master class on Thursday, and the master class is Freedom and Fulfillment, 3 steps to boost your income in your soul aligned business. That's 7:30 p.m. Eastern on Thursday, August 1st. So join us. And the link is inspiredandempoweredliving.com/masterclass. Again, inspiredandempoweredliving.com/masterclass. And it's the name of the show.com/masterclass. So join us. And I support you in continuing to join us for more inspiration and empowerment next week. And we are live Tuesday mornings at 11 a.m. Eastern on talk4tv.com, w4wn.com, my YouTube channel. And definitely, you can also check out the podcast on iHeartRadio, Spotify, Pandora, Apple, Amazon, and many more. And I look forward to seeing you again next week. And I wish you all an inspired and empowered week and an inspired and empowered day. Have a great one, everybody. Bye for now.